Elliot Kay here, CEO of the Speaker Awards and Speaker Summit, and I'm here joined by the amazing Kay Korsh, who's a stylist for speakers, for celebrities. She is the go-to person. She's the person that transformed my whole look. I know, looking at me right now, you won't believe it, but it's true. My whole stage look, I should say. And she's just incredible at what she does. And Kay is one of our sponsors this year at the summit. Kay, hello, how are you?
Well, the first question is why did you not dress up for this call?
I knew it. I knew it. And the reason is I wanted to stay neutral. And I've worn this in each of the interviews. No one makes me nervous on getting on camera as much as you do. I was like, oh, do I put my jacket on? Do I not? I was like upstairs. I was like trying the outfits. I was like, no, I'm just going for a plain neutral jumper. So the attention's on you. So there was thinking behind it, you see. But this is Kay. This is Kay in full effect. So first of all, tell us a little about Kay, your styling, who you've worked with, and then we'll take it from there.
So I've spent my whole life working in fashion and mostly with the luxury brands and celebrities, a lot dressing them for editorial and commercial shoots. And I started working with speakers about 5 years ago, actually, just as COVID started, because when COVID started, everything stopped. So I had to do something new. And I just got lucky and was introduced to a couple of really good people within the speaking business. Because I didn't even know about it. I didn't realize there are speakers who are building their business, and this is the actually main point of revenue. Um, so,
Hmm.
uh, um, yes. So, where
So
was
that's
I?
been the journey, and you've gone from strength to strength ever since. And I think what's quite remarkable, having worked with you personally, is I have worked with stylists before, and I feel how tailored your approach is and how personalized it is, and also just how much attention you pay to detail. So anything I buy now, I kind of have to run by you. Like even when I was, I mean, I don't have to, I choose to, right? But even when I was buying my new glasses, right, I was sending you everything matters. And I think that's something different. I've had people do my skin and my complexion and all this, and here's what you should wear. But I've never met a stylist that goes to such extent into the detail. And tell me why that's important to you. And of course, everybody attending the summit watching this, why is that an important factor to your styling?
Well, first of all, one of the things, paying attention to detail definitely comes from working with celebrities because they are constantly scrutinized by the media, so they have to look really as close to perfect as they can. So I kind of got trained over the years to pay a lot of attention to it. And that's what I bring into the speaking world because obviously speakers, they are on stage, so they are also with cameras from different angles. Is your shirt gaping? How do your accessories look? Where's the mic? And all of this stuff is really important. But also, I guess another thing which is I feel different from the way how I work with people is that I do like working with people over a period of time. Like
Right.
I've known you for a while now. And what happens then is that the whole transformation is very organic. I don't think you can take somebody to the shops and within 2 hours they come out all transformed and joyful and happy. It takes
What?
time.
Outrageous.
Yeah. It takes time. I need to know to get to know you, and you need to get to know yourself,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And yes, it all starts with colors and shapes, but there are other things which I talk a lot about. For example, how to stay up to date, how to stay current, and this
Yeah.
is all in detail. So talking about specs, right? The frames. This is what can either make it or break it within your outfit. If you can have everything correct and then your glasses might look out of date. So the whole look is kind of,
Is out of date.
yeah, out of date. And if your look is out of date, people might, whether consciously or subconsciously, think that your ideas are also out of date. So again, as a speaker, it's really important to stay current and follow long-term trends.
Brilliant. So that leads us beautifully. I ask all our sponsors this, and I want to ask you too. What are the mistakes speakers make when they go on stage? I mean, if I think back to when we met and what I was wearing to what I wear now, you're very upfront. You're like, look, your look's outdated, it's old, the industry's moved on. So as it stands today, I don't dress like that anymore. Everybody watching this will be happy to know, right? What are some of the mistakes you still see speakers make when they're going on stage, both male and female, or non-binaries? What are some of the mistakes that they make?
So for a speaker, it's really important to be credible. And that can be obviously achieved in a few different ways, whether it's through content where you show your expertise, or you can also achieve it through look. So this is what I teach people, how to look credible on stage. And there are two things which you can do to achieve that. One is the fit, so how your outfit fits you, and there are two things within the fit, which one of them is making sure that your clothes are the right length. For example, your trousers and your sleeves are the right length, whereas your waistline. So I always encourage people to know a good seamstress or a tailor, and every time they buy something, they check the length, and then they go and alter if it's needed. For example, I had a conversation with you about the length of the t-shirt. So the
Yeah,
t-shirts, it seems like what's one of the easiest things some might think, but it's really important to see if the t-shirt is the right fit for you, because if it's too long, it straight away kind of makes an impression that you're sloppy, and if you look sloppy, you lose credibility. So it's
mm,
not about you always wearing a suit. It can be more casual depending on your values and your tone of voice as a speaker and the audience you speak to. But even casual stuff
good.
needs to fit you well. And also things like um, is you always need to practice in your full outfit in front of the mirror before you deliver your talk, because sometimes your outfit might malfunction, something might go wrong. For example, a bow might get untied, or something might come out of the pocket. For example, there was one story which was shared with me where a speaker had a prop in his pocket, and
Oh
then
no.
as he took the prop out of the pocket, the lining came out as well. So everything what people were looking at was the lining out of the pocket. Nobody could concentrate on what he was saying. So these are the really important things to check in advance, right? To make sure that nothing
Yeah.
go wrong. And so that's about the fit. And then the second part of being credible is being current. And that's something which I already mentioned. And pay attention at things like your specs, your jewelry, your footwear, your hair, makeup. These are the things to concentrate on.
And when it comes to jewelry, what are some of your pet hates? Like when you see a speaking, like, "Ugh." Like what doesn't work? Because I'm sure a lot of people go, well, my brand is this and I wear this jewelry. But once you put them on stage, what are your sort of like, oh, that doesn't work? Tell me, tell me.
Well, I guess the brand is never about the type of jewelry. It could be that your style is more flamboyant or busier, which is great. If it works for you, we can make it work, or it's more minimal where you don't have much stuff going on. But what you do need to look at is current trends. So, for example, big beads are not really in fashion now. What is
Hmm.
more in fashion is maybe combining different metals or layering your metal chains. So it's very easy to work out. You can just Google or ask ChatGPT what the trends are,
Uh-huh.
and just make sure that you that whatever jewelry you are wearing works with those trends.
Okay, cool. So it's basically be current, be on trend, in line with your brand. I guess from my point of view, the best dressed speaker doesn't mean the best dressed content. So you still need to have a bloody good speaker and you still have to have great content. and then what you wear magnifies that. But I love what you say about it can immediately discredit you. So you can have really good content, but if it doesn't match cognitively, then there's an element of distrust or oh, if he looks like this, he might be like this with his content. So, I remember years ago someone saying this is years and years ago when I had when I was applying for a job, and they looked at my CV and they're like, "Oh, you're writing, you're using shortcut language." And what someone will think is, "Oh, where else does he take shortcuts?" So I guess it's similar to you, right? So it's if you look a little bit sloppy here and there, where else are you sloppy? So I think that's quite important. So you're going to be at a summit. Yay. We're excited to have you. There's going to be Ask the Expert sections. You're going to have a table. So what can people expect when they sign up to Ask the Expert sessions?
Well, it's in the name. Basically, I think for those who watch this or listen to this, when you go to my session, Ask the Expert, think about what questions you've got around style. And you might not come up with it straight away, but even listening to this and through the content which I was just talking about, what comes up for you? And write down those questions. So when you come to the session, you ask me the question and I answer it, and you get value out of it, I guess.
Okay, good. So come prepared.
Yeah.
Even come with potential examples. Does this work? Does this not work? Right?
Yes,
Uh,
and if your question, Kay, what do you think about my outfit today? I can give you immediate feedback on that and give you some points which you can work on for sure.
I'd like to caveat that. Be prepared for very honest feedback. You'll definitely, if you're looking for you look great, if you do look great, Kay will say so. But if you don't, and she's very tactile, but she might just say that doesn't work and that doesn't work. So just be prepared for the answer as well. Because I think sometimes people come along, I know this, for example, when people send show reels and what they're looking for is that's great. And then, I'll go, well, that doesn't work and that doesn't work. Here's why. So all I want to say is if you do come asking for immediate feedback on your outfit, be prepared for the answer either way. You're not mean, you're not horrible, but you are honest. And I just want to make sure people know that as well. So that's really cool. One juicy tip for everybody that's coming to the summit and or awards before we wrap this up from the legend herself.
So I would say concentrate above all. If I had to simplify it, whatever I was talking about regarding the fit, make sure that your fit is right, because there are obviously so many other things to think about. But just from our conversation today, if you concentrate on maybe the fit and the staying current, this would be a great starting point. Just one more thing which occurred to
Yes.
me. About ask the expert, you can, if you ask me question there, you can actually put the voice note on if you want to record the answer and then think about it afterwards, because you might forget, so it might be useful to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, what you said very well, I want to remind everybody watching is it's a process, right? It's not an overnight thing. Unless you want to book Kay and she runs around London with you, it's a process. Like, when we first did it, we did one thing and then it's another. And then you went, right, here's the kind of jackets, here's the kind of look. And then it was once I did that, you're like, right, let's talk about your glasses, Elliot. Right. So it's a gradual thing. It's not a one bam, thank you and we're done kind of thing. And I think
And
that's what,
and
yeah.
also, by the way, if you are not in London and if you're only traveling for the event and you're not staying in London beforehand, uh, we can have an online conversation and an online session. And as I mentioned, I developed this business over COVID, so all the processes can be done online, so it doesn't have to be in person.
Yeah, I mean, all our interactions for the styling has been online.
Mhm.
So I think that's great. In the meantime, where do people find you? Where can they look for you if they're watching this? Going, oh, I need to reach out to Kay. Tell us where.
LinkedIn, connecting with me on LinkedIn. And if you're already connected, just sending me a DM that you heard this conversation. if you have follow-up questions from this conversation, or if you have anything else. So it's pretty easy to find me. It would be probably just adding Kay Korsh or putting Kay Korsh as the name, and it's Kay. My first name is K, and Korsh, my second name in LinkedIn.
Brilliant. Just as well you and I didn't meet and get married, because then you'd be called KK.
I know, right?
Just a random thought there to finish us
That's
off.
the only reason, basically.
That's the only reason we didn't get married, right? Because nothing to do, we didn't know each other or anything like that. But I just thought when you were, I was like, hey, that's my name. So you've literally be called KK.
I know,
Anyway,
right?
on that note of madness, thank you for your time. Thank you for expertise. Listen, come meet Kay at the summit. Come connect with her. She'll have a table as well as Ask the Expert sessions. You're going to have plenty of time to interact. And of course, she's going to be at the awards later on. So if you need any help with styling for the summit, for the awards, or for both, reach out to Kay and she will help you. That comes with a promise from me. She will help you because she's helped me. She's made me look good. So there you go. Ultimate case study. Right. Have a lovely day, morning, or evening, wherever you are watching this in the world. See you later. Thank you.